Welcome back to Boom and Bust. I'm your host, Tony Clement, here with Lorne Sugarman. He is the CEO of Metaverse. Lorne, you were just sort of explaining to our viewers sort of all the kind of commercial and retail activity, which may be a surprise to people. And I do want you to address this issue as well, because some people are sometimes surprised that people are spending money on things like virtual real estate or fashions or what have you, not in the corporate real world, but in this world that is being created. So if you can address that issue as well.
Yeah, so I think the point that I was leaving off of is, as we said, we created all these stores during Metaverse Fashion Week, and they were all on our property. One of the amazing things about Metaverse Fashion Week was that, and commercial sides of it, just like in the real world, is we've taken this land and we've said, okay, just like, I don't know, in call it Northern Ontario or Northern Toronto, where many real estate developers bought real estate many years ago, and today there are big, huge malls and big, huge developments. We bought this land, and just like like the developers in a physical world we believe we need to build things on those and bring people and bring excitement. And so Metaverse Fashion Week was a great example of how those, we brought different events, different companies to the land that we owned, which created value on the land and drove traffic to that land. And similar, where you use the example of why are people buying digital fashion and other things. I think the example, or I would use, is I typically use this all the time. My daughter loves when I say this. Is she dresses me up. She dressed me up today for the TV show and said, well, you should wear a black shirt and you look proper with a collar and all those wonderful good things. So I actually physically care about how I look. And when I'm out at conferences or TV shows or whatever it may be, no different than in the digital world, you're going to care about your physical presence, and you're going to want to personalize what you're wearing and show who your character is or what your character is. And so we've seen that for, as I said, virtual worlds have existed for a long time. We've seen that for a long time, where people cared about the skins that they wore in the game or what they bought, or even, tools that they used in these different games. And I don't see that changing. In fact, I see that even growing. And there's just so many use cases that you can use this physical, digital real estate for. It's mind blowing in my mind.
Yeah. So again, you've got these digital real estate holdings, and so proximity also matters in the metaverse. It sounds like that you've managed to secure digital real estate, which will, I suppose, because of its location, drive people to those retail properties, and therefore it has a value for other companies. Is that right?
So that is correct. So, again, picking on our fashion district real estate, it's close to roads, it's close to main areas that are important, but it's also in the fashion district into Centraland. So fashion brands want to come and participate in the fashion district. And no different around proximity. We hear from different brands that, they don't want to be beside ABC brand, but they might want to be beside DEF brand. So similar type of characteristics that happen in the physical world are important here around location. Who am I beside? Am I displaying my brand in the right context, how I'd like to display it? Do I want to be with the lifestyle brands, or do I want to be with the ultra luxury brands? Do I want to be, all those different things matter and still matter in this digital world.
Is it intersecting at all, the metaverse I'm talking about, with AI?
So absolutely. So we all have probably been intrigued with ChatGPT that got a ton of press over the past couple of weeks or a little bit longer. There are certainly opportunities around generative AI and creating the 3D renderings of different items that can be used in the metaverse, whether those are virtual buildings, wearables, other things. There's just so much that you can do with it around AI that will add, what I would say, add to the experiences. But we're at the early days of doing that. As we get better with AI in the 3D world, I could see all of us taking 2D images and converting them into 3D images using AI. That for sure is the next generation.
Anything big come out of the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas recently?
So CES was obviously, very, it wasn't very, there was lots of metaverse conversation there. There were a bunch of AR devices and a bunch of, call it communication around potential AR applications there. And so I think it was contextually very, very good for the metaverse. There's obviously lots of rumors about Apple and what they're going to do. Really excited to see if they come out with something and what it looks like. TCL came out with what hopefully is a very cost-effective AR set of glasses, and so I'm quite excited about what the AR piece is here.
We're going to take another brief break.